You really think they woke up and said, wow, black people are human after all. Let's be nice. They didn't desegregate because they loved us.
I understand what you're trying to say, and I would like it if more Republicans were like you. However, some of the issues and some of your talking points, I feel like you're removing some context. Like even with the whole thing, you talked about Rosa Parks, how her husband owned a car and all that. That's not the point. They were doing that to protest. Even if you do have a car, there are probably plenty of black people that did.
Did you hear the part that I said that we had our own bus line?
I know, but we shouldn't have that. Because you were talking about how everyone should be together, we should all unify. But if we stay separate, if we keep having black water fountains and white water fountains, white schools and black schools, we'll never have that unity.
There's a difference between natural immigration or migration between the races and forced desegregation. When you force it, you cause animosity and chaos. When you let it be a natural thing, it happens a lot more smoother. Not everybody discriminated against each other. There was black and white people getting together all the time. It was certain places where they held true to those structural things that were Democrats put into place to cause division. I don't think that she should have forced that. I think that black people should have had their own bus line and became competitive, and then therefore they merged. Because that's the problem with our societies. We gave up a lot of our own generational wealth trying to get in the bed with a group of people that didn't really want us at the time. We had resources that we forfeited. We had education systems that we could teach our own history if we wanted to, but we forfeited that to stage this issue that wasn't as prevalent as Martin Luther King and the others made it.
A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from. This is Awakened Africa, and I'm your host, Ben. Welcome back to another episode of my YouTube channel. And today, I'd like us to discuss on the effects of segregation and desegregation, right? So there are a couple of videos here that I've bumped into of black content creators on TikTok and some other pieces of podcasts or some other clips of podcasts whereby they were discussing why desegregation was better. Why segregation had an advantage to the black man over segregation. And before I come and talk about that, I think white people feared segregation. And why is it that these people feared segregation? It is because they knew that black people would thrive on their own. But I don't want to talk much about it. Allow me to present to you these clips. Let us watch them together to the very end, and then I'll be back with my further commentary. But before that, kindly, if this is your very first time watching me, then I'd ask you most definitely to subscribe to this channel. Take me to 1,000 subscribers, all right? And then after that, make sure that you like this video so that it can be suggested to as many people as possible. That means the YouTube algorithm is going to be favorable to me. Don't forget to share this video with your brother and sister, because this is Awakened Africa, and I'd like each and every one of us to be awakened and get enlightened. Turn on post notifications, because every day I post new videos, and I'd like you to be the very first person to watch my clips. But right about now, let us jump straight into these videos. I'll be back with my further analysis.
You really think they woke up and said, wow, black people are human after all. Let's be nice. They didn't desegregate because they loved us. They desegregated because they couldn't afford to look stupid on the world stage. And they couldn't afford to let us get too powerful without them. After World War II, America was busy trying to sell itself as the leader of the free world. You know, democracy, liberty, justice for all. All the same stuff they were never giving to black people at home. Meanwhile, the Soviet Union was pointing and laughing. Freedom? Y'all can't even let black kids drink from the same water fountain. And America? They couldn't bomb their way out of that bad press. So the same people who spent decades lynching us, burning us out of towns, and pretending we didn't exist, decided it was time to clean up their image. Desegregation was never about morality. It was always about marketing. One thing they never tell you about desegregation: we weren't begging to sit next to them. We were thriving without them. Black businesses were booming. Black schools were educating future doctors, lawyers, and scientists. Black neighborhoods were self-sufficient. And they couldn't have that. Because if we didn't need them, they couldn't control us. Simple math. But instead of congratulating us, they used desegregation as a way to bulldoze everything we built. Black schools shut down. Black teachers fired by the thousands. Black businesses starved out once the black dollar started flowing into white businesses. Yeah, they didn't integrate with us. They absorbed what we built and threw the rest away like leftovers. And today they have the nerve to ask why Black communities are still rebuilding. Because y'all didn't just move the goalpost. Y'all burnt the whole field. Desegregation wasn't a handshake. It was a hostile takeover. They didn't open the doors because they respected us. They opened the doors just wide enough to flood everything that we built and call it progress. So the next time somebody tells you to be grateful for desegregation, remind them that we didn't get rights because they loved us. We got them because we fought like hell while they smiled for the cameras. They didn't integrate us. They invaded us. And we're still rebuilding what they couldn't steal. You really think they woke up and said, wow, Black people are human after all. Let's be nice.
I have a theory that's based off history and facts, and it comes from one little simplistic racist statement. If we had never got y'all from Africa, y'all would basically be wild animals in the woods, right? Because you got to think about this way. Sure, we didn't get all the credit we deserved during slavery for all the things that we created, but you know one thing about black folks, if times get hard, we're going to find a way to make them motherfuckers manageable or easier. And saying that we were doing all the hard work, there were a lot of inventions that were being made by black folks that never got the credit. Slavery ends, we slip right into what? Segregation in the Jim Crow era. Now this is where things get good. Because on our own, we built towns, billion-dollar businesses, schools, our own professional teams, communities, everything in between. On our own, we were thriving. And to them, that was just the greatest insult because, quite literally, they needed us. I thought they needed us when it really turned out in reality that y'all needed us, but neither here nor there. So it comes down to, well, how can we get them to need us? We need to find out how they're doing it. I got an idea. Let's burn down their towns. Now you're cooking, Judson. No, that didn't work either. How about let's bomb their towns? Ooh, yeah, you're on to something now. Oh my God, another one. Let's flood their towns. Good golly, let's do that. And then when that didn't work, y'all got a little more psychological. You know, you started flooding the black communities with drugs, liquor stores, and guns, and then built the shit out of prisons to make sure that you had somewhere to put those black men. Y'all started a war on the black family where basically the mothers were required basically to survive is to get the black man out the home. Y'all took all the trade jobs out of our communities where people could go from school that couldn't afford college, could go work in jobs where they could learn a skill. You see, after all that, it was weakening our community. So basically where it could be, hey, y'all need us, you know, let's all live together because it's bad for both of us now, when in reality it was only bad for y'all. If we would have been left alone, we would have been fine. If we had been left alone, we would have thrived, because newsflash, Africa wasn't some poor ass country. Otherwise y'all wouldn't keep making return trips that are steal shit from them. Africa was never poor. Black people didn't need y'all. Y'all needed us. And that's what ate y'all up alive. So much that even after the horrendous decades of what y'all did, we still found the way to make it through and thrive without y'all. When everything y'all built was built off of us. That's gotta eat you up a little bit, right?
I know this video gonna make some people uncomfortable, but I'm warning you now, so keep scrolling if you think you gonna get ruffled. Either way it go, keep it cute. But I had to ask myself the other day, who asked for desegregation? Because I damn sure don't think it was us. Us. I'm talking about us. It was minding our divine business, building, thriving, creating, healing, protecting what was ours, living in rhythm with spirit and nature itself. And boom, interruption like always. What it all boils down to is that somebody is always in black people business. Y'all know y'all cannot debate this. I don't care what ethnicity you come from. Somebody's always going to be in black people's business, regardless. We're going to be real clear, crystal even. Desegregation was not about love. It was about access, about getting close to what we built, about infiltrating what they couldn't destroy from the outside. Y'all remember when we were separated, we were unified? Look back at all those marches. Saw all of those people, all of us together. We had power, we had culture, and we had self-determination. Illusion of inclusion was the trap. What happens when you invite a spirit in your home that doesn't respect it? You're gonna get unity, you're gonna get confusion every single time. And look, Years later, we still trying to reclaim what we once protected. Oh yeah, the deeper truth is desegregation was never the victory. It was the setup. The dilution of divine energy. In my mind now, the universe is just correcting it. I remember when I talked to y'all about the great separation. It's here. This is what I was talking about. Not rooted in hate. It's rooted in alignment. This is not about superiority. This is about energetic sovereignty. The wheat and the tares, the called and the pretending, the awakened and the distracted. And we gonna be honest for just a sec. A lot of y'all been praying for this. A lot of y'all wanted this energetic distance, remember? Shall I remind you? Because I heard y'all say y'all have outgrown the fake allies, right? What y'all call them? The culture vulture? You know, the passive aggressive ones, or the I'm spiritual but still give supremacy types. The filter is on now. Oh no, this is not segregation, this is restoration. It's not hate, it's healing. It's not exclusion, it's elevation. You're not watching history repeat, you're watching a divine reset. This is the great separation, and everybody is where they need to be, or they will be soon enough. So it's time to restore what we lost when we stopped protecting our energy. That's all this is about. Of course, they want to keep your vibes low, keep you in fear, give you the illusion that they still have power. They only have it because you give it to them. That's why it's important to know and understand who you are, where you come from, so you can know where you're going. I'm just saying, change your perspective, change your life. Make sure y'all get in them comments and let me know your thoughts. If you're interested in attending Yaya's Soul Jam session, April 25th and 26th here in Atlanta, Georgia, just know those are early bird tickets right now. They are going fast. They're going up April 1st. Make sure you get yours now. They are linked below. If you're interested in open mic, make sure you head to the link in my bio, click the events tab, and fill out that registration form. Still accepting submissions until April 15th, and I have received a ton of them. Keep them coming. I want to see what y'all got. Truly appreciate y'all's engagement, and I cannot wait to see y'all there. As always, peace, love, and light, and gratitude for watching.
Let's talk about how Black teachers lost when civil rights won. Brown versus Board said schools had to integrate, but nobody said that teachers had to come with us. And guess who got left behind? Black teachers, thousands of us. Let me give you a little bit of context in case you don't know your history. Our history, American history. 1954, Brown versus Board of Education declared school segregation unconstitutional. A win, right? But here's the catch. To make room for white staff in newly integrated schools, over 38,000 Black educators and principals were pushed out, fired, demoted, or never hired again. So what was the impact of all this? Those weren't just jobs. Those were trusted community leaders, role models who helped raise generations of Black children. And when they disappeared, so did the connection, so did the mentorship, and the cultural understanding in the classroom. Today, only 7% of the teachers in the U.S. are Black. That's not just a statistic, that's a missing link in our children's educational experience. And just a personal note about me, I remember having my first Black teacher in the 7th grade. Mr. Matthews, he was my science teacher. I wonder where Mr. Matthews is at now. He had fingers like sausages. Is he with ancestors? Okay, let me get back on topic. I'm sorry. I'm the only Black teacher at my school. I think like one of maybe 10 in the entire district. Yet studies show that all of my students benefit from having a Black teacher. Incredible engagement, higher expectations, and deeper connections. And don't get mad at me, this is just the research I'm repeating. When I walk into that classroom, I bring more than just a lesson plan. I bring representation, I bring history, and I bring proof that they can be seen and heard in every space. And that matters. What would school look like today if we hadn't lost a whole generation of Black educators? And what needs to change so we don't keep losing more? Because the past isn't gone. It's still showing up in classrooms today.
Just hasn't worked.
It was really insanity on our part to think that we could send our children to be taught by races and by sending them that they were going to change. For the most part, our children today are being destroyed. They're being sent into a hostile environment that constantly, in very insidious ways, tell them they're no good. They can't learn. And then we wonder why there's so many problems.
What is something that you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
Integration was not the answer. Quite frankly, I think integration was one of the worst things to happen to the Black community. Just being real. Because it wasn't even true integration, it was just desegregation. Wasn't the same thing. Integration should have been dismantling both the Black and white structures and creating a new structure. integrating two different things into one. Instead, what really happened was they just took down the whites only signs and just put us in their spaces. Not the same thing. And quite frankly, racism and violence aside, segregation didn't sound that bad. Because the idea of an all-black school, all-black pool, all-black movie theater, all-black restaurants, that doesn't sound bad to me. I truly believe the fight was more so for equality of resources, but I don't think we was trying to sit with y'all and sing kumbaya, but that's just me.
So they think black people really give a damn about segregation? Like, for real, for real? Like, we welcome that shit. Like, hello? We know the power of our black dollar. We ain't no fools. We are perfectly okay with that. I guarantee y'all business is gonna shut the fuck down though. So fuck with it if you want to. We ain't suffering, you are. Like, we always got somewhere to shop, and half of the people are not gonna adhere to it anyway because of the fact that they know that their businesses are gonna go down. Ain't nobody finna do no stupid shit like that. And let me tell you something. If we going back to colored only bathrooms and white only bathrooms, our shit gonna be clean. Cause one thing about black people, we some clean motherfuckers. So I don't know. Now I don't know about the other ones because the ones that I know that work with me don't even wash their motherfucking hands. So let's be honest. Like, I don't know what they think. I don't know what they think they doing. But I'm here to tell them that they not doing what they think they doing. Because we ain't going to be bothered whatsoever. As a matter of fact, run us all our shit back. As a matter of fact, run us all our shit back.
To those who say desegregation didn't work and that we were probably better off in segregated schools, how do you respond?
Desegregation doesn't work because we haven't tried it. We haven't really reorganized our schools away from racial lines. We haven't used our schools and educational institutions as a way of educating human beings to work and to respect others.
So, good people, I think we've all watched these videos to the very end, and something has come out clearly. You've seen how these black content creators on TikTok, what they're talking about or what they're suggesting. Most of them, or I can say all of them, have agreed to the fact that this segregation brought more harm to the black people than segregation itself. The state government of the US had already segregated black people. Black people had no any other option. They had no one to turn to. So if you have a problem and you have no one to turn to, what you're going to do, you're going to look for ways around to fix your problem. That's why they knew they needed hospitals. Black people built their own hospitals. They knew that they would need schools where black kids need to be educated. They built their own good schools so that they can be educated, right? They knew that they need to stand together and make sure they have cohesion, peace, right? That's why there were no violence. Families were intact. Black people were more of being family, a family, black people, natural African people are a family people. So they had to stand together and become more cohesed, right? So does it applies to the success of the community. Talk about business, right? They knew that they need wealth. They need to prosper. That's why they built wealth. They built their businesses, everything. Now here comes, here comes America wants to play the good guy, They want to play justice for all, They want to say that they are fair. They give each and everyone freedom. They give each and everyone democracy. So Soviet Union looked at Soviet Union right now is Russia. They looked at America. They said, you guys you're talking about democracy. You guys are talking about freedom. But why haven't you granted freedom to the black people? Why are you still segregating black people? And you know what they did? They came to the black people. They said that, you know what? We are supposed to end segregation. So we have to desegregate, right? So for the desegregation, you need to ban all the black schools, black hospitals, black businesses. You know what? We're going to live together. We don't need to have only white schools and only black schools. Let us come together. Let us make sure that we live together as brothers and sisters. Then something must click in your mind if you're very sharp and if you're very bright. Why didn't they discover that all that, how comes all of a sudden they become clever and they say, like, you know what, we need to stand together as black people, as the human race, as there is no black people and there's no white people, we all have a human race, you know. We need to end segregation, we need to abolish these black schools, black hospitals, black businesses, we can all buy from the same place, we can all go get treated from the same place, we can all, our children can all get education from the same place. It brought racism, unspeakable racism. People, because I'm just trying to think out loud. If they saw the need of people living together, why didn't they abolish white schools, white hospitals, white businesses, and came into the black community and say that we're going to live as brothers and sisters together? That's why there is a video I did of Mr. Louis Farrakhan, which is talking about America not being ready for integration. And America has never been ready for integration, right? So America has never been ready for integration. Integration means people coming together to work together. They open these doors wide enough, as this confident lady was talking about in those clips. They open the doors enough not to absorb, not to welcome or embrace black people, but to swallow everything that had been built by the black people. There is a teacher who gave a testimony, a female teacher, female black teacher, who just gave a testimony that there are few black teachers in America. She's the only one in her school. She's the only black teacher. In her district, there are only 10 black teachers. So what they did is they came to the black communities. They said that they were going to live together. They brought drugs, brought the liquor stores, brought the guns, orchestrated violence. Black people embraced this violence, and there was nothing like being a family anymore. Now, during the Jim Crow laws, right? This segregation, people living together in harmony, right? Talk about something about getting support, black women getting support from the state government. They had to kick the black man out of the house. They came and disintegrated the family setup, the basic unit of the black people, the family setup. They broke it into pieces. And then they're telling you that they brought unity, they wanted people to be together. There was nothing like that. They have never wanted to be with the black people. They've never wanted to share anything with the black people. They've never wanted to see black people prosper. Black people had already started to build their wealth. They had already started to see themselves succeeding. And then here you coming, you telling me that white people wanted integration. They never wanted integration. And that is why these people are scared to death up to now when they see black people coming together. And this is a message that I will leave with you today here. Don't stop being united. Be together. Come together. Work together. Build that world together. Forget about the plantation mentality. Do away with the plantation mentality. Stop thinking that only a brother can make at a time. Only two brothers can make at a time. We can all make it at a time. And if you're a Gen Z black person, black American person watching this video, a Gen Z like me, this is a wake-up call. My brother, my sister, don't let down your guard. Make sure that we're doing this, we're going to prosper together. I don't know what you think about this video, but I'd like to get or hear your thoughts, what you think in the comments. But a question that I must pose is, do you think desegregation brought more harm to the black community than segregation? This is a Week in Africa. I've been your host, Bemo. Guys, if you're new to this channel, just kindly do the needful. Subscribe to this channel, leave a comment, like this video, turn on post notifications, and don't forget the most important thing. Share this video to your brothers and sisters so that each and everyone can get this message and get enlightened and get awakened. I've been your host, Bemo. This is Awake in Africa. Until next time, peace out.